Hi, my name is Mark, and today I'd like to talk to you about Apex Legends, the board game. This is not the usual place where I'm making my movies. If you have watched my channel and my other movies, you know that usually there's a shelf with board games behind me, but Apex Legends is such a huge game that I wasn't able to set up this game in my regular place, so this is it. I hope you don't mind that we are making this video in other setting. Huge game, skirmish game, tactical game where you will run around the map and you will shoot other players, other legends. Apex Legends is based on a famous video game. It's a game created by Glass Cannon Unplugged, and thanks Glass Cannon for sending me this game for review. I have the base game and I have this small box with solo and co-op rules. I will also tell you about the solo mode, but later in this video. This is a game, the base game is for 2 to 6 players. With the solo expansion you can play, of course, solo. So, this is a tactical skirmish game and your goal is to run around the map, grab some loot, grab some cool weapons and shoot other players, score victory points and score some trophies. And there is this whole rulebook called match settings with different ways to play the game, with different maps. There are some examples here, and you have different map layouts, you have different play modes that you can play the game. You have Battle Royale, Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, Assassination, Boss Mode. Each play mode has got different rules, different setup. Sometimes you will use different components, different player components, different game components. On different maps you have different types of buildings and some walls and trees and rocks and stuff like this. If you haven't watched my unboxing video, I advise you to watch it because you will be able to see all those cool components in detail. I also show in the unboxing video how to fold and unfold all those buildings, because those buildings here are foldable and you can fold them flat into the base game box, and this is really cool because everything that you see here fits folded in the base game box. So the goal of the game is to kill, defeat, destroy other players, and you will do it with your legends. There are 2 teams in the game, a blue team and a red team, and depending on the play mode and your chosen option, you can play 2 versus 2 or 3 versus 3. You will get your legend. Your legend has got some ability cards that you will be able to use to trigger different abilities. You have your deck of action cards. You will get some weapons, 2 weapons at the start of the game. You will get your player board. On this player board you will have space for different loot, for different upgrades for your helmet and shield and armor. You get your life point tracker and your shield tracker, and you will play the game. The game can last 8 rounds, but usually in each play mode there is a goal that you have to defeat some specific number of opponents or get some specific number of trophies. So if you trigger the end game, the victory condition, the game can end quicker, but if not, it will last 8 rounds. And at the start of the game you will get the weapons, the starting loot, and then you will play the rounds. And during each round of the game you will perform actions. You have 2 action points and you can perform different actions, like you can move, you can open different loot supply bins with loot and with new weapons, you can use some equipment, you can throw grenades, you can melee attack, or you can destroy something like those supply bins, or you can shoot other legends, or you can respawn, because in this game, even if you die, if you lose your shield and if you lose your health points, you will not permanently die, but you will respawn in different parts of the map and you can continue fighting. If you ever played video games like Apex Legends, but even some older games like Quake, you know how it goes. You run around the map, you shoot other players, and then if you die, you will respawn and you will continue fighting. Some game modes have this ring, and the play area of the map will contract at the end of some rounds, and you will have less space to fight with. If you're outside the ring, you will get some damage, so this is quite cool. In some play modes, like if you play team deathmatch, you will not use the player board with different loot, you will not use different weapon cards, but you will get some weapon loadout, like preset weapons. You have some equipment board with some fixed equipment that you can use, and you will play the game. So it's faster and you can focus on combat. But if you want to play the Battle Royale mode, you will get loot, you will get different weapons, and so on and so on. So this is cool that you can adjust the game to your needs. You have some modules in the rulebook that you can add or remove from the games, like event cards, to adjust the game to your needs. The most important part of this game, of course, is running around the board and shooting other players. So if you want to shoot someone, basically the miniature must be in line of sight, and the line of sight is the most complex element of this game, I would say, mostly because of different elevation. As you can see here, this is why I'm making this video in this setting here, not from top down, because we have different buildings and they have different levels, and it really matters if you are higher or lower, because you can, you know, shoot someone from the top of the building, or you can hide behind the building, hide behind the wall. So this is quite cool. But if you want to shoot someone, this person must be in your line of sight. And the line of sight, in overall, it's easy. You have to see the miniature you are shooting. Of course, if it's behind the wall or behind the building, you will not see your opponent and you cannot shoot him or her. But the rulebook covers a lot of like edge cases, and the line of sight part of rulebook is like 4-5 pages long, so it's quite a lot. If you, after you read it, you will know how to use it, but line of sight is the most complex thing in the game. But if you have your opponent in your line of sight, you can use your weapons. Different weapons, they have different optimal range. If you're outside the optimal range, you will have more difficulty to hit someone. Then you have your target hit value. You will spend your ammo, you will have different upgrades that you will get at the start of the game and during the game. They will modify your range, they will modify the number of aim cards that you will draw to check how much damage you get, you dealt. You will have some upgrades that will modify the to hit difficulty, so this is quite cool. After you calculate everything, you will draw a specific number of aim cards. They all have numbers written on them, and you will place those cards on the aim board. The aim board has got numbers as well, and then you will compare the final number with the hit difficulty. If it's equal or higher, then you have dealt the damage written on your weapon. Those aim cards, they have some additional icons like headshot that will do additional damage. Also, sometimes they auto hit someone who is lower than you, or they don't hit someone who is behind a cover or an obstacle on the board. So this is quite cool. It's quite random in a way, because you will draw those cards, but at the same time you can get some equipment that will modify your weapons and will modify your chance to hit someone. So this is quite cool. If you don't want to shoot, or if you don't want to move, you can shoot only once per round. You can of course use your action cards. They give you additional abilities. Some abilities are free, some abilities you must spend your action points, and you have 2 each round. Each legend has got 2 each round. You can also trigger your special abilities, and they allow you to do a lot of different things, like place smoke on the board, or some portals that allow you to, you know, teleport quickly. You can spend some bombardment. You have the bombardment miniature that will, you know, you will have some airstrike in this area. So each legend, each warrior has got different abilities that you have to learn before you play the game, and you can also trigger them in your turn. When there is the turn of your team, you will play each legend of your team, and then there's another team, and then another team, and it goes so on. After the end of each round, after each team has played, you will trigger some additional effects, like you will each legend will draw one of the action card. Legends outside the ring, if you play with the ring, will get some damage, the ring will contract, and you try to complete the goal of each play mode. Or if you don't manage to do it after 8 rounds, you will calculate some victory points and you will check out who is the winner. So if you want to play solo, the solo mode, to play solo you need the small box, and this box contains some additional components because you get this rulebook. It's 33 pages long, so it's quite long. The solo mode was created by Radosław Ignatow and David Turci. Radek Ignatow is like Polish designer who creates a lot of print and play games, and he's very successful on Kickstarter. It was a surprise that he created the solo mode for such a complex game. His print and play games are complex as well, but this is like not a print and play game, like a huge board game. And David Turci, if you play solo, you probably know David Turci. He created a lot of solo modes. He created also some games as well, but he created a lot of solo modes for different games. So you get this rulebook, and you get this like weapon loadouts for Automa, because Automa doesn't use normal combat weapon cards. It uses this weapon loadouts. If you have this expansion for solo, this is quite cool because you can use Automa for your opponent, but you can also use Automa for your teammate. If you play 2 versus 2, 2 opponents can be played by Automa and your teammate can be played by Automa as well. So you can use Automa instead of your teammate or in place of your opponent. So this is quite cool. But you get this weapon loadouts. You will get card for each legend from the base game, 6 different legends in the base game. There are 6 different legends on those cards, and they are solo specific cards that tell you how to activate each legend, each warrior, what to do, different steps and different like schematics, what to do if you have an opponent inside, what to do if you don't have an opponent inside, and so on and so on. So you will use all those actions step by step from those cards. You get some additional movement cards that Automa will draw from this deck to move on the board, because the solo mode is not like a straightforward solo mode that Automa always goes, uses the closest path to your warrior, to your legend. It's more complex. Automa uses this movement card, so the movement of Automa is not predictable, so this is quite cool, more tactical. They will behave or move according to those cards. And you will also get all those action cards, because those normal action cards are used for humans. And Automa has got a specific deck of cards for each legend in the game, and each turn of the game, Automa will take one of those cards and perform some additional bonus actions from those cards. Automa also has got those small charge tokens that are used to give some boost to some of the Automa actions. But basically, when you play solo with the solo mode during Automa turn, Automa doesn't use weapons, doesn't use loot tokens. It uses the weapon loadout and it uses the cards from this expansion. But basically, you will take the Automa card and you will perform different things step by step, like set priorities. You will have to find out which opponent legend is the priority for Automa this turn. If you are near supply bin, Automa will replenish some health and shield. Then you will take the action card, the feed card, and trigger its ability. Then Automa will try to move and will try to shoot. It works a little easier than you, but Automa also is using those aim cards to hit you. So basically, Automa is doing the same thing that you are doing, but in more a procedural way. Like you have those points here on this card and you have performed them step by step, and you will have to check if this happens, then you will do this. If something else happens, you will have to do that. But you will also have to trace the line of sight. You will have to check if Automa is in range, if it's in range of weapon, the optimal distance, if not, or not. So it takes quite a lot of time to use Automa. It's like it's not surprising because this is a complex game, and the solo mode for this game also needs to be quite complex. So, but you have to be aware that you will spend quite some time operating Automa opponents. And you can use Automa in Battle Royale and Team Deathmatch mode. If I'm not mistaken, you cannot use in Assassinate or Capture the Flag or the Boss mode, but it's still enough. And you can use Automa for the 6 legends from the base game. I know there is an expansion with additional legends, but there are no Automa cards for the additional legends. But still, being able to use Automa for each of the 6 legends from the base game is, I think, more than enough if you play this game solo. So what I think about Apex Legends, the board game, I have to say that I like this game quite a lot. I have never played some, skirmish, miniature, like tactical games where where there are people that buy all those armies like Warhammer games and they build all those dioramas and play. I have never played a game like this, but this game gives you the skirmish tactical game in a board game box, and this is really cool. It looks amazing, it's tactical. The rules are, to be honest, not that complex. If you have ever played a tactical dungeon crawler type of game where you have miniatures and they have action points and you have a line of sight and you can shoot someone and you can spend action points to perform actions and you can spend some action cards to perform actions, then you will probably know how to play this game. Of course, this is more complex. You have this line of sight, you have different elevation, but the basics are quite intuitive. There are a lot of moving parts, and this is the complex element of this game because you have different legends, they have different abilities. Each legend can play some stuff on the board, and you have to remember what is this Falcon doing, or what is this portal doing, and what does it mean when the opponent places this this huge airstrike token here. So you have to remember a lot, you have to track a lot of things on your board, you have this upgrade, you have this loot tokens, they modify your weapons and so on. But the rules itself are not that complicated, so it's really cool. The game looks amazing, and you have to be honest, it looks amazing. This is one of the best looking board games I have seen. The idea that you can create those buildings from cardboard and you can fold them you can fold the cardboard to create those buildings and you can fold it back into your board game box and take this game with you. It's amazing because it looks great, it's foldable, you can put this game on your shelf. Of course, maybe it would be more convenient to have all those buildings already constructed somewhere around the house and then just place them on the map, but you can fold the game and you can take the game with you, so this is really cool. It's fun, it's fast. If you play with human players, with humans, not solo, and those people, they know how to play the game, it goes really fast because you basically perform 2 actions. You will move around, you will open a supply bin, you will try to shoot someone, you will take those aim cards, you will deal damage, and another legend and the next team, and so on and so on. So it goes quite fast, it's full of action, it's dynamic. I really like it a lot, but at the same time this is a huge game. It's huge on the table, the box is huge, there are tons of components, it takes a lot of time to set up. For me to set up everything to the point where I can already start running around and shooting people takes about an hour. You have to open the box, take all the components, even though the insert is really cool and helps to organize everything in the box, you have to take everything out, you have to construct those buildings, you have to choose the play mode, you have to set up the map, then you have to choose your legends, gather all those components for all those legends. You have to start, if you play the Battle Royale, you have to go through the initial loadout, randomize the weapons and take the loot tokens, decide which loot to keep, which to add to your weapons. It takes time, like 1 hour to set up everything. And then if you're done playing and you have to put everything back in the box, it's another maybe 30 minutes because it's not that long setting the game up, but still you have to unfold those buildings, you have to sort all those components, you have to put all those cards in the different trays. So hour and a half to set up the game up and to put it back in the box, and then there is time to play the game. Let's say you play 1 hour, you play one game, you run around, you have fun and you shoot and you have won, you want to play the next game with your friends, and you have to set up everything from the scratch, because if you choose a different map, you have to create a different layout, maybe construct different buildings, place different terrain elements on the board, You have to remove everything from your player boards, you have to randomize new weapons and new loot. So the setup for a new game takes more time again. So this game requires a lot of time. It requires a huge table. What you see here in the video is a setup for a team 2 versus 2. If you want to play 3 versus 3, you would need even more space. If you play with 6 people, you need a huge table. This is a huge game and it needs a lot of time. So Apex Legends is a game that requires a lot of dedication and a lot of space and a lot of time. If you have all those things and you will play the game and you will get this game, you will be extremely happy because this is an amazing skirmish game. Only if you have the time and the will to learn the game, the time to play the game, and the table to play it, and probably to leave it on your table for 2 or 3 days, because this is the best way to play the game, I think. If you have maybe 2 days, a free weekend, you can invite your friends, you will set up the game in the morning, we'll play for 8-10 hours, maybe take a break, drink a beer, eat some lunch, then play again. You will not put the game back in the box, maybe you will meet the next day with the same friends and play again. And after 2 days like this, you can pack the game, leave it for another few weeks on the shelf, and then maybe you will have another week and then play again. It's definitely not a game that you can play if you have maybe 2 or 3 or 4 hours spare in the evening, because you will maybe spend more time setting everything up than playing the actual game. So I love to play this game, but it's not a game that I would play very often or on every occasion, especially that this is a specific type of game with a lot of moving elements that you have to track and you have to control, and you also need players that are quite, I would say, experienced in board games in general and in miniature board games specifically, because I cannot imagine playing this game with a newbie, with someone who is casual board gamer, because all those components and elements will blow this person's mind. So even though the rules maybe are not that complex, there are a lot of things that you have to track and trace and think about when playing the game. But I really like Apex Legends, and if I have a chance to play this game with friends, I would definitely play it. And we go to the next point, which is the solo mode, and I have to say that I definitely prefer to play Apex Legends multiplayer and not solo. The solo mode is fine, the solo mode is really well designed, and Automa emulates the real person, but it takes time. And if you think about setting the game up and putting the game back in the box, and then if you add even more time to operate the Automa Legends, then probably you will spend too many time not having fun. I don't know. I'm really happy that they created the solo mode for this game, because I can imagine there are people who really want to play skirmish game. Maybe they don't have board game group, maybe they like to play alone, maybe they have a board game group, but this group doesn't like this complex skirmish games. And there are people that are really fan of Apex Legends. So if you are this person who wants to play this game alone, you love skirmish game, you are a fan of Apex Legends, then you will have a lot of fun of the solo mode, but you have to dedicate your time to learn it and to operate it and to play it. But I really admire and I really love that the solo mode for this game, they created the solo mode. It's cool that this is an expansion. If you are not interested in solo, you don't have to get it. But if you want to play a complex skirmish game solo, and the solo mode should work well, then Apex Legends is the game for you. So this is cool. But I would say that this is not a solo game for me, because for me it takes too much time and the game requires too much dedication to play this game solo. I would rather focus on my turns, on my legends, on my cards, and not have to think about all those Automa movement and shooting, because for me personally it's too much. But I think that if you like those type of games and you don't have a board game group, this game is worth getting solo, if you are willing to spend your time to play it solo. So a great game, but definitely not a game for everyone. But I'm really surprised and I'm really marveled that they managed to create such a complex skirmish video game they managed to turn a tactical, full of action video game into a board game, and it works really, really well. So well done, Glass Cannon Unplugged, a really great skirmish game. And if you ever wanted to play a skirmish tactical game and you didn't want to go into this miniature wargaming stuff, this is cool, because you have one box, big box, but one box on your shelf, and this gives you a lot of skirmish enjoyment. So this is my opinion on Apex Legends, the board game. First opinion, because I played this game a few times, but this game has got a lot to offer, and there's a lot still for me to discover in this game. Click the like button if you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments if you have backed this game on Kickstarter, I think, or GameFound, or crowdfunding. Let me know if you have backed this game on crowdfunding. I don't remember which platform it was on. Let me know if you played the video game. Let me know if you plan to play this game solo. Maybe you want to play this game solo. Let me know everything in the comments. I love to read your comments. Click the like button, subscribe to my channel, visit me on different social media. All the links are in the description of this video. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.